everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to our live broadcast. Today we are going to be talking about 3 tips, or I'm going to share with you 3 tips to help you shortcut your intermittent fasting results. So welcome if you're joining us live. If you're catching us on the rebroadcast, I always love the fact that you guys come back around and check out the videos that we upload. Please make sure that you have hit that subscribe button on YouTube or that like button on Facebook, and then always feel free to join in the conversation, leaving a comment, even if it's just saying hello, or if you would like to share your experience with intermittent fasting thus far. And if you have any questions or concerns about the topic of today's discussion, always feel free to leave that in the comments section. I share the information and topic of our conversation in the beginning of this video, and then at the middle points toward the end, I do open up the community conversation and give you guys an opportunity to get your questions answered. So let's get to it. 3 tips to help you shortcut your intermittent fasting results. I'm going to give you the 3 tips very quickly, and then I'm going to circle back around and explain to you why these tips work. So the first tip to help you shortcut your intermittent fasting results is understanding the difference between not eating and actually fasting. The second tip is learning how to fast every day. And the third tip is changing your mindset about nutrition. So implementing these 3 very simple steps will really help you shortcut what it is that you're trying to get with your intermittent fasting. And I know there is so much conflicting information that's available to us today in the world of intermittent fasting, and these 3 tips I'm going to completely narrow down for you and simplify for you. So if you implement these 3 things and you get a clear understanding about the signs and the signals that your body is sending you, you will be able to get the results that you're hoping for so much quicker. So let's get started. Tip number 1. Understanding the difference between just not eating and actually putting your body into a fasted state. So being in a fasted state really does mean putting nothing in your body except water for a certain period of time. Here in this community, we do practice intermittent fasting. And so what that means is we take the 24 hours that we are blessed with in any given day, and we break that up into 2 windows. One is fasting and one is feasting. What we are finding here in this community is the 20-hour clean fasted state is the quickest way to get your body into a healing type of environment. So what I really like to emphasize when I teach intermittent fasting for today's aging woman is that we are incorporating this as a lifestyle for us so that we can heal our body and reverse signs of aging. You cannot get the healing and the aging reversal solutions or results from intermittent fasting if you haven't put your body through that state of balancing itself out hormonally and reversing some of the damage that we have done to it over time. The only way you can allow your body to get into the point of actual weight loss is if you are in a healed state. We do that through the practice of fasting. Where we get confused and where we get frustrated as women is with all the conflicting information, and that is today's tip. If green tea in your fasting window, anything else is not fasting. So that 15 little calorie thing that Joe down the street said you could put in your fasting window will slow down your progress. Putting creamer and stevia in your coffee will slow down your process. Putting anything into your body that will take your body out of that state of keeping your insulin levels at its lowest and actually start depleting your system will knock you out of a fasted state for healing purposes. So the number 1 tip that I have for you today is to clearly understand the difference between not eating and what fasting really means for you. So just because you're drinking something with a minimal amount of calories in it does not mean that you're actually putting yourself in the type of fasted state that you need to be in for healing purposes, which will eventually put you in a place where you can start losing some unwanted body weight and some unwanted visible body fat. Tip number 2, fast every day. Now, when I say fast every day, I know for some of you that put that immediate fight or flight kind of feeling in your body, and you had a little bit of panic attack, and you're like, how could I possibly fast every day? And so what I want you to think about when I say fast every day is I need you to think about fasting as part of just who you are. Fasting is something that is the lifestyle that you have created for yourself so that you can live your life in a healthy and energized anti-aging type of way. Remember, we want to start aging successfully. We don't want to start breaking down as we age. The best way to do that is to create a fasting lifestyle for yourself. So fast every day. Even if you're only fasting for 12 hours, make sure that if you are fasting, you are truly fasting and you're just not eating. So making sure that you're not letting those little calorie exceptions sneak their way in, or you're not letting any of those little, what I call crutches, sneak into that very minimal window that you're going to incorporate for yourself as a lifestyle, which is that 12 hours. Anything beyond 12 hours is just going to put you in an advantageous situation to deeply heal your body and allow your body that extra little time that it needs to deplete what could be backing you up and keeping you from being a completely healed woman. So step number 2 is fast every day, even if it's for the minimal amount of time, which is 12 hours, and make sure that that 12 hours is squeaky clean, so that this just becomes part of the lifestyle that you live every day as an aging woman in today's world. And then tip number 3 is change your mindset about nutrition. I say this all the time here in this community, but the mindset that you have about nutrition is going to be that thing that is going to make or break this lifestyle for you. There's no such thing as a perfect meal plan. There's no such thing as meal prepping a week's worth of food, and that's going to be the magic cure for whatever it is that's ailing you. There's no perfect macro count. There's no perfect calorie count. There's no perfect anything when it comes to nutrition. So we need to let go of that mindset that we have built in our head that if we just get the right amount of calories in, or if we just get the right amount of macros, or if we're just following what someone else is doing, we're gonna finally be at that place where we wanna be with our body. And I'm telling you, you will never get there. You have to change the way nutrition is implemented in your life based on how authentically you want to live that life. And as soon as you start making those decisions for yourself about how you're going to feed your body, you will start winning at this game. You will start creating that mindset that you are in control of how you're going to take care of your body, that you have the experience and the knowledge and the decision-making ability to feed yourself based on the signs and signals that your body is sending you. You will no longer have to wait for the next diet to come out. You will no longer have to wait for someone to tell you what it is that you're going to eat. You will no longer have to ask if it is okay for you to do X, Y, or Z when it comes to nutrition, because you're already going to know what works for you. So that third step is the most crucial step in becoming successful and really shortcutting your way to the intermittent fasting results that you want for yourself. And trust me, nutrition is not complicated. Nutrition is one of the simplest things that we have available to us today that we can utilize and take advantage of to really create a lifestyle where we can look and feel our best. But you have to be patient, and you have to be kind to yourself, and you have to incorporate common sense from an emotional state of balance and healing. Food is not your friend. Food is not your entertainment. Food is not going to solve your problems. Food is not going to make the frustrating day at work any better. Food is not going to make your dog behave. Food is not going to help your kids. Food is going to nourish your body and allow you to look and feel your best. And as soon as we start practicing that philosophy in our everyday life with the emotional and the mental decisions that we make, then the physical outcome that we're going to have with our body is going to be exactly what we have been hoping for and working for so long. So let me review very quickly the 3 tips that will help you shortcut your way to the intermittent fasting results that you are hoping for. Number 1 is understand the difference between not eating and fasting. Number 2, fast every day even if it's for a minimum of 12 hours, make sure that those 12 hours that you are fasting are squeaky clean. And the third and most important tip that I can give you about intermittent fasting and the results that you're hoping for is you have to get your mindset right about nutrition and how you're utilizing it in your everyday life. Ladies, it is that simple. Those 3 steps. You have to take everything else away that's complicated. You have to take everything else out of the picture that is frustrating you, and you just have to go back to basic common sense. This is exactly what we're teaching in our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. It is just simplified approaches to how it is we are dealing with our everyday life and what it is that we have learned about nutrition and what it is that we've learned about what is right and what is wrong for us and how we can take that power back when we start thinking for ourselves. I hope this is encouraging to you if you are struggling with intermittent fasting, or maybe you've been playing around with intermittent fasting and you haven't gotten the results that you're hoping for, or maybe you feel like intermittent fasting is just more complicated than it should be. There are 2 things that you need to ask yourself every single day. If you're a graduate of my course or you've been hanging out here on the internet with me for any amount of time, you know those 2 very simple questions that you ask yourself every day are: 1, how long will I fast today? And 2, how well will I feast? Incorporate these 3 tips that I shared with you today, and you should be smooth sailing with the results that you're hoping for with your intermittent fasting journey. So this is the time where I'm going to open up the lines of communication so that I can have some interaction with you who are joining us here live, and I always come back around and read the comments for those of you who have joined us on the rebroadcast as well. So please take a second to hit the comment section, throw me a little hello, let me know where you're coming from or you're viewing from, and let me know if you've been a graduate of my course and when you took the course, or maybe you've been playing around with intermittent fasting and you're finding some results yourself, or if you're frustrated, let me know and I'll see if I can help give you some tips to get you unfrustrated with this amazing lifestyle. It really is supposed to be simple, you guys. We really do complicate it with, you know, the past conditioning that we have in our own head and some of our own emotional experiences that we've had around food. And if we can just catch hold of those things and really reframe our mind, then we should be able to have any lifestyle that we want to have working for us. Amy is here. Good to have you with us, girlfriend. Elizabeth, Catherine is here. Amy was in my April 2017 class. You guys know her. She's as familiar to you probably as I am, so we always love having Amy on with us. Juanita is here. Christy is here. Cynthia, still taking it one day at a time. Awesome to have your support always. Cynthia, it's always great to have you with us, and it is supposed to be taking it one day at a time, so you were definitely doing it the correct way. You just got to make sure you build in a little bit of grace and forgiveness when things don't go the way you think they should go. Maybe your body has different plans on that day, and just go right back around to asking yourself those 2 basic questions and incorporating these 3 simple tips for sure. Jessica, thank you for saying this. There is no such thing as a dirty fast. You're either fasting or you ain't. This is true for sure, depending on what it is that you're trying to achieve. I believe that when you're healing your body and you're having to get yourself out of that insulin resistance and getting yourself out of that pre-diabetic state and getting yourself out of that state where your cells are so backed up that they can't process what they need to process, that clean fasting is the only way to go. There are ways once you're healed that you can add some things into a fasting window that support what it is you're doing with fasting, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit on my Instagram stories this week. But there's no way that you can shortcut healing your body. You have to clean fast when you're healing your body, and then you have to start thinking about what the ultimate goal is for what it is you're trying to achieve, and then that's when you can start building in a little bit of flexibility for sure. So thank you for saying that, Jessica. I agree 100%. And then Christy, hello. Celia, 65, took me 6 months to lose 30 pounds. Keto and IF will never go back. Good for you, girlfriend. And I know that there's a lot of people who really thrive with the ketogenic diet. I personally, with my body's chemistry, and I know my husband as well, we do not thrive with the ketogenic diet, so we really do try to teach the approach of just learning how to listen to the signs and signals that your body is sending you, and then developing your own nutritional style based on what it is that makes you look and feel your best. Layla, hello. She's saying hello to Amy. Janine, hello. from Cape Town, part of your August group. Yay, so you're in day 2. So I'm super excited for you, and I can't wait to have you circle back around with us when you get done with the course. And then Ingrid is here as well. I'm going to grab my, excuse me for turning around here, I'm going to grab my laptop really quick so I can get on my YouTube comments. It's really hard for me to read on my phone. So I'll grab them here. Just give me a sec to pull it up. Where are we at? Here we go. Okay. And what I want you guys to understand too, when I broadcast here live and give out this information to the general population, I always defer back to squeaky clean, by the book, How to Heal Your Body with Intermittent Fasting. And then you have to know that once you're healed, there are some different things that you can do, and you do not have to always be so strict with what it is you're doing in that fasting window. You can lower your fasting time frame. You can incorporate some more foods into your feasting window. But we have found here through the thousands of women that have practiced doing what I teach in my course that 20-hour clean fast is the fastest way to heal your body for sure. So I always like to clarify that when we're coming on here live. Margaret, hello from Washington State, listening in your car. We'll pay attention to the road for sure. Jell's mommy, September 2019 graduate, hopefully. Oh, just get yourself registered, girl. Once you're in, you're in. Lisa from England is here. Devon is here from Washington State, 2019 grad. Allison from November 2018 just started the F3 course. Super excited to have you in there as well. Make sure you email me if you have any questions. Susan from Australia is here. Ginger from upstate New York, September 2018 grad. Teresa, hello from down the road. Tracy from Pennsylvania. Shannon, current 2019 class member. Can't wait to get you in that graduate category. Susie, is it okay to fast 18 hours and mix in 20 a few times a week? Yes, for sure. Once you get to that point where you're no longer feeling like you're suffering from insulin resistance, or you're no longer pre-diabetic, and you can really control how you pop in and out of your glucose levels and your ketone levels, and you're looking and feeling your best. That's the key here, is we want to not be dealing with any sort of aging type of ailments that we're not happy with. And then you want to make sure that everything you're doing is allowing you the opportunity to look and feel your best. And that's when you start building in that flexibility. So Susie, I would say for sure you're at that point where you can kind of ebb and flow through whatever it is you're doing with your fasting windows. And then Ginger, do you supplement anything for an extra fast 48 to 72 hours? I have only done one extended fast. It was 46 hours, I think it was. It's not my favorite, and it takes me a really long time to get into ketosis when I only water fast. So when I'm doing anything where I'm trying to get myself into deep healing levels of ketosis, I don't extend fasting into water fasting. I do fat supported fasting, and my goal is to get myself into ketosis as fast as possible. I stay deep for about 3 or 4 days, and then I resume my life as normal. So it all just sort of depends on your personality and your body chemistry. Some people thrive in a water fast environment, and some people thrive in a more ketogenic, dare I say, type of environment when they're trying to get themselves into ketosis. So the goal is to get yourself into ketosis where you're at a place where your glucose is low, your ketones are high, and you have a good glucose ketone index for healing purposes. So if you can get that through extended fasting with just water, I say that's where you want to thrive. I would maybe supplement with some sea salt. And if you find that it's just miserable for you, then that's not your way, and there's other ways that you can get the same end result. I hope that answered that question for you. Let's see, where did I leave off? Ginger. Okay. Susie, September 2018 grad, and now participating as a refresher. I always love you guys coming back as refreshers, so thanks for doing that. Ruth, food is fuel for sure. Donna, 2017 graduate, 2017 graduate. I needed to boost, so increasing my 12-hour fast to a 20-hour. Thank you for all your knowledge. You're super welcome, Donna. Mary, 0.5 hours left on my clean fast, 20 hours. Woohoo. Yeah, I'm 20... Where am I at? I'm 20 at 3:30. I'll be 23 hours into my fast, and I had an amazing workout today. So it's all about that mindset and knowing that you can get through it and what it is you want to have at the end result for your goal for sure. So Mary, congratulations, you're almost there. Rosie from California, Lori, June 2019 grad, broke 18-hour fast with steamed green beans with mushrooms and olive oil. Listened when my body was full. Nutrition is easy when I keep it simple. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, simple nutrition is the best, and then good for you for listening to the signs and signals that your body is sending you. If you're feeding an overfed body, that's what we call overeating. So your body will send you signals once your hormones are balanced out, when you're satiated, and it sounds like you ate a great meal, and congratulations for that. Ruth, doing the course right now, just when I thought I knew everything, I'm learning even more. Good, and you're only in like 2 days of the course. You have 3 weeks of information to learn, so I'm excited for you. Leslie from Pensacola, Florida. Jamie, been playing around and great during the week, but struggle on the weekends. Currently taking the course to have more tools. Yeah, for sure, Jamie. You know, there's mindsets about how to handle your weekend as well. And I used to think that weekends were the times that I loosened the reins and didn't fast as long. And what I found out is I was cheating myself. And I can actually fast longer on the weekend and really just keep myself to like a 1 meal a day type of thing. That's what I do on Sundays. I absolutely love it. And then I have a really long fast going into Monday. So play with things and just create a schedule for yourself and then stick to it. So one weekend, try to just have some really long fasts and loosen the reins maybe a little bit on your feasting window, and then try another weekend where you're fasting less, but maybe a little bit more particular about what you're doing in your feasting window, and then figure out what works for the lifestyle that you want to live. So my kids are, teenagers. They can feed themselves. I don't need to eat breakfast and lunch. I can have one meal and be fine on the weekend, and it seems to work best for me. So play with it and figure out what works best for you so you don't sabotage yourself on the weekend. That's the biggest thing for sure. Let's see, Violet from Toronto, thank you for joining us. Sherry from Tennessee. Liz, still healing my emotional reaction to situations and eating to cover over the feeling, I think is what you're trying to say. Yeah, Liz, it's a process, and it's a process you don't want to rush. So you have to make sure that you stay tuned in emotionally when you enter in those situations, and know that food does not fix problems. Food does not alleviate stress. Food is not your therapist, right? And it's not your best friend. And so once you really convince yourself of those things, even if you have to just say it out loud and have little mantras, that you remind yourself of, and break certain of those trigger situations. I had a consult call with someone that says she said she was a stress eater. And I said, well, why don't you say you're a stress walker, right? So if you're stressed out, you just go out for a walk, or you're a stress knitter, or you're a stress drawer cleaner, or whatever. So be careful of the labels you put on yourself, and your brain will follow those labels. And if the labels you have aren't working, relabel yourself and say that when stress happens to you, you're a meditator, or you're a walker, or you clean out a drawer. And once you change those triggers, then the outcome will change as well. Let's see, I don't know what that person's name is. Hi, I have bloating problems. What could I do when I get hungry when I am fasting? Well, a bloating problem and a hunger problem are two separate things. So you have to figure out what foods you're consuming that are causing you to bloat, and then you need to test those. And then if you're hungry during your fasting, that means you're not building in time and consistency, and you have to get your hunger hormones balanced out so you understand what hunger means for you. So that's a two-step process you're dealing with there. And then Laura, I have no problem with clean fasting, but as soon as I start feasting, it triggers crazy eating habits, and I become a human dustbin. It's so frustrating. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure that you are getting enough good healthy fats in your diet, and then tell yourself you're in control. Break your fast with something that's in a high fat, high nutrient dense type of food, and then you pause away from food. And what happens with time and consistency is that all shifts. Your body's in this like fight or flight type of thing, and it feels like your brain's telling you that you're starving yourself, and then when you open up your feasting window, it's trying to make up for lost time. So you have to change that mindset. Remember, I said tip number 3 is the most crucial, right? So you have to tell yourself you're going to be okay, and allow your hunger hormones to identify with what it is that you just put in your body. Let it process that, and then come back again to the feasting. What eventually happens is just the opposite of what you're dealing with right now, and that is when you become really efficient at becoming a fat burning machine, and you become really efficient with identifying the foods that help you look and feel your best, then you kind of run into the other side of that equation is the problem, and that is you open up your feasting window and you have no desire to eat, and you don't have any desire to eat because you've been feasting all day in your own body fat. So it does circle back around and balance itself out, but you have to be patient and you have to stay conscious during that time so you don't allow that that your body's hormones to take you out of control of what it is that you say you want for yourself. Let's see. Ruth, I put this in the group chat, but also want to share in here, went from being a cancer survivor, stroke survivor with high blood pressure and high cholesterol, clean bill of health last week. This works. Ruth, I'm so happy for you, girlfriend. You are such an amazing warrior and survivor, so thank you for sharing that. Yes, you have to learn how to take care of your body so that you can survive, right? And we want to become very successful at this aging game. So aging is something we need to learn how to do well. We can't just unconsciously go through the years and hope that everything's going to work out okay. We have to be proactive and a little bit reactive about how it is that we're aging. And if you're not happy with how the aging process is going, you have to change some things. You can't just sit back in your lazy boy and hope that everything's going to be okay. We have to attack aging like we did the other things in our life that we came across that we were unhappy with, and then you'll see that the results that you're going to get from attacking it and being proactive and being reasonable about what you're doing will be exactly what you're hoping for with aging, for sure. So Ruth, I'm so happy for you and thank you for sharing that. Susan, will using diet whatever earth kick me out of a ketosis? I have no idea what that is, so I would research it and see what the ingredients are in that and what the nutritional label says in that, and then you have to test it out on your body to see if it'll kick you out. Some of the things that I thought would kick me out of ketosis did not kick me out of ketosis, and some things that are guaranteed to make your ketosis better totally kicked me out. So a lot of it has to do with your own body chemistry. So test it out and then see if that's something you want to keep in. And then Susan, I already did that. Jennifer, if weight is not an issue but struggling with diabetes and high blood pressure, will it still work and will weight still be dropped? Yes and no. If you need to drop weight, your body will drop weight, but it's always the last thing. So you need to get your insulin resistance under control so that your diabetes will go away and your high blood pressure will go away. Fasting is the fastest track to make that happen. When I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic, borderline diabetic, and I was severely insulin resistant and hypoglycemic, I only had about 13 pounds that I had to lose, and that came on when I went from being insulin resistant to pre-diabetic. So you have to heal what's going on in your body chemistry first and hormonally, and then you will lose weight. And if you don't need to lose weight, then you probably won't lose weight. But you have to get your blood sugar under control first, and fasting long and feasting well is the best way to do that. Delaney from, I don't know, Minneapolis maybe? The chat really helps keep me on course. Awesome. I love it. And then Barbara, I'm 80. Is there any difference for me to fast? No, not at all. The thing that we're finding is that fasting really helps anybody at any stage in life, and you have to just be willing to put in the time and consistency to figure out what's going to work best for you and your life. So I don't have a whole lot of strict rules with how you should fast and feast successfully, other than you have to pay attention to the signs and signals that your body is sending you. And if you have some things that you need to heal metabolically, or you have some things that you need to heal hormonally for your body, meaning like you just feel like you're out of balance, then you have to really understand the science and what happens in a 20-hour clean fast and why that's the fast track to getting yourself healed. So there's no age discrimination in this at all. I would say you are totally welcome to hang out in this community and reap the benefits of what we're all reaping. We have had women in our course who were in their 30s, and we've had women in our course that are in their 90s, and they all end up getting pretty much the same results with this, and that is that they're healthy and they're looking and feeling their best. And that's our primary objective here for sure. And then Karen from Minnesota, thanks for jumping on. Girlfriend, it's good to see you. Ingrid, hello. Angela, hello. Pretty Diane. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Today's Monday, so it's hair washing day, so that's always a good day for me. Good to see you too. Cassia, catching you live again from Arizona. Good to have you with us, girlfriend. And then Penny, is there any way I could go in, get into this session? I know it's a couple of days, but September session doesn't work for me. I have a strict policy that once we get into that very first lesson, I close down the course. And I do that because there's a lot of really good information I give away here for free, and we start together as a community and we end together as a community, and I am adamant about not rushing you through this process. So I would say get on my email list. If September doesn't work, then maybe October would be a better time frame for you. And then what you have to remember about the course that I teach is that it's very self-paced. It's 15 minutes a day, and it's just helping you understand the science and giving you those aha moments about why it is the things that we talk about here work. And so I would say don't cut yourself short. Penny, I would just register for the September course, put it on your calendar, and make it work for you for sure. Jody, thanks for jumping on. And then Heidi, I signed up for your course in March 2018, but life got in the way and I didn't see it through to the end. I'm ready to do this now. Do I have to sign up for another course, or can I just sign in and start over? Thanks for your help. Heidi, there's two options for you. One is you can just go back to your course, day one, lesson one, and you can listen to them and start incorporating what it is that you have already registered for. I would highly recommend you go through all 3 weeks. Just like I said here, the third component of this and finding the success with intermittent fasting is the mindset, and that's the third week of our course. So I would say just log in and go back through it, and if you find that you need some additional support, you can jump back in as a repeat student with us in our September course for sure. So I would take advantage of both of those options. That way you can refresh your brain by just logging back into your course, and then you can come back in as a repeat student and get some more hands-on support from the other women in the community and me as well. And then Margaret, so appreciate your outlook on nutrition. You're so welcome. It's because I am a nutrition struggler myself and a very emotionally connected person to food. And I've done my own self-sabotaging and my own, growing up in the 80s type of things with nutrition. And so I understand women and I understand nutrition because I am a woman myself and I have struggled. And it wasn't until I really changed the way I think about food and think about hunger, and I really took the time to understand my own body chemistry and what works for me as a woman today, especially as I'm aging. So I get you guys. I understand your struggles because I'm right there in the trenches with you, and I know what works and I know what doesn't work, and I know that you cannot shortchange yourself, and I know you cannot cheat the system. You have to put in the time, you have to be committed to the consistency, and that's the way that you're going to get the results that you are looking for sure. What should I start my feast with? That's up to you, girlfriend. You have to kind of play around with nutrition until you find the thing that works best for you. And then we have a princess in the house. I break my fast about 6 p.m. and it seems I gain weight in my midsection. What do I do? If you feel like you're gaining weight in your midsection, that is what we call hormonal belly fat. It is obnoxious to say the least. What you have to do is you have to get your body back into hormonal balance. And so you probably need to make sure you're extending your fast to long enough hours, make sure it's squeaky clean for a certain period of time, and then pay attention to what it is you're putting in your feasting window to make sure that what you're feasting on is not keeping you in that hormonal imbalance state as well. And those are the big aha moments that we teach in the course in the second week for sure. So if you're, like I said, if you're frustrated with what it is that you're doing with your intermittent fasting, you're probably taking on too much advice that does not apply to you as an aging woman today. So simplify your life and simplify this process. Ask yourself those two basic questions every day. How long should I fast? How well should I feast? And include 3 simple steps. Make sure that when you are fasting, you are truly fasting and you're not just not eating. Make sure you are fasting in some capacity every single day. And then make sure that your mindset about food is a healthy and balanced one, knowing that food has a certain place in your life. And if you're putting it in any other place, it's probably the thing that's keeping you like you're feeling stuck for sure. Grace. I am a May 2019 student. I'm having difficulty trying to find any place to log into my course. Any tips? Email me for sure, Grace. And then you can go to fortoday'sagingwoman.com/login. That should help. If for some reason your email or password is not working, you have to email me. I can look in my system and I can see if I can get you unlocked for sure. And then I think that's it. Pauline, hello. When I took the course, 18 hours was one of the times recommended. I've heard you say many times now to aim for 20-hour fast window. Just curious about why the greater amount is emphasized now. I've always said 20 hours, so I don't know. 20-hour fast and a 4-hour feast is what we call the sweet spot in our course. So maybe you just misunderstood a lesson. I would go back and revisit that one for sure. But 20 hours is what I have always taught and always encouraged for sure. And then Heidi, you are so welcome. Brenda from July 2019, loving this lifestyle. Thank you for your wisdom and knowledge. You are super welcome, girlfriend. Thanks for hanging out with us. Should water be consumed cold or room temperature? That is a personal thing. That's another one of those things that you can get. If you Googled that, you would get 100 opinions about why it is you should drink water at a certain temperature at a certain time of the day. Drink water. If it's easier for you to get your amount of water that you need to look and feel your best when it's super cold, drink your water cold. If your water needs to be room temperature for you to drink the water that you need to drink to look and feel your best, drink it at room temperature. The same thing applies to working out. If you have a time of the day that you're most successful with working out, that's the perfect time for you to work out. Let go of all of that information out there that's going to make you feel stuck and confused and frustrated. Drink your water at the temperature that is most pleasing to your palate, so you will drink the water that you need in the course of your day. And with that being said, I'm going to say adios for today. I will see you guys back here on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to give you guys some information about how you can ignite your metabolism. So make sure you check back in with us on Wednesday. And then just a little side note in case you missed us on Wednesday, Friday we will not be broadcasting live. We are moving our son back into college on Friday, so we're taking a family day. Always feel free to go back and view any of the videos available on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook page if you want to catch a video from us. And then if you are a past student and you want to revisit your course, you have access to your course. Just log in, start at day 1, video 1, and go back through as if you were a new student. Thanks for jumping on live with us today. Thanks for catching us on the rebroadcast. And like I said, I'll see you guys back here Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time.